Today, the council clashes. Is the consumer strong or strained?
Andrew is right that incentives shape consumer behavior, but I think he gives too little credit to the people making difficult choices. Most households aren't spending recklessly, they're adapting to a more expensive reality. The real misunderstanding is treating continued spending as proof of confidence, when it often reflects the determination to hold life together. Endurance and prosperity are not the same thing.
Jenny, Guy, and Emma are all circling the symptoms. Leverage spending that looks like strength, but they're still treating it as a household behavior issue or temporary pressure. The deeper flaw is that this is the predictable output of a system deliberately engineered for perpetual consumption as the main policy dial. Policymakers and economists misunderstand the consumer most because their incentives reward today's GDP over sustainable reality. The surge in BNPL, 84-month loans, and credit for groceries shows it clearly. Officials cheer the numbers while the system extracts long-term value. That's not resilience, it's engineered dependency. The boundary is simple. This debt layer turns every future shock into a bigger one.
Jenny views this as adaptation while Andrew sees a con, yet both miss the underlying architectural necessity of debt bridging. It is not a lifestyle choice. It is a structural requirement for a system that has decoupled growth from actual productivity. This exposes the ultimate pressure point. The economy has replaced asset accumulation with permanent liabilities to maintain stability. Without a floor, the system cannot survive a credit collapse.
Jenny calls it resilience. What she's actually describing is depletion with good posture, a household sector that's already absorbed the shock and is running on thinner margins. Andrew trades one narrative for another. Colorful language isn't a causal chain. Emma's 1920s parallel is the most useful, but it needs to account for institutional guardrails that change the failure mode. The real question nobody answered: what happens to household financial stability when the credit tap tightens, regardless of what GDP does? Because if AI productivity keeps the headline number intact while consumers contract, policymakers have less political pressure to respond, and the underlying stress becomes harder to see until it's harder to fix.